We have a sell setup here in euro. I think it's a very, very good trade. So there's a flag forming here, kind of a consolidation. Eventually that breaks. Watch the first movement to be this, and then possible more consolidation and downside. Now there's a rare chance it comes back up, right? Because we're at a very high point in the charts, especially on the gold and silver, which I would show. So there's a sell. I'll show some very quick trades for YouTube viewers. There's a sell setup here. There's a buy setup on the CAD. Right, you can see that there is a sell setup in New Zealand. Let me just run through them really quick. There's a sell setup in the New Zealand dollar. It's kind of moving. This was the sell on Friday, which we were trying to take the reversal of when it went up. Friday, the news was there, it spiked. We didn't buy it. We bought I think one or two and was break even because it didn't go far enough. And then it started to come back. And if you guys were paying attention, some of you would have sold it like here. I hope some of you did, because that was what we were going to do, sell the 5 minutes flags. And if you did, I hope you closed it here. If you didn't get that, then you were supposed to put an entry order here in case. There are two entries. If it makes a flag, the first entry was here. The second entry, well, if you get a flag, sell the flag. If there was no flag, then let this one. If it was going to drop, then let it drop through the bottom. So the flag was there, and if you sold the flag, you made some money. So those were the two options we had. This one is consolidating. It looks like it's going to go up some more. I would say probably running flat. I'll go with a running flat possibility here, because there is this pullback in this one, like this 1, 2, 3, and this might go back there. Should it go back up, we'll put an entry under the low. You can actually put this entry. If this is a separate correction of its own, no problem. Right? Put this entry. The only thing about this is you will have to use a bigger stop. But the trade to the downsides are huge, right? You're coming all the way to the bottom here. This one could break through the structure because we have a complete pattern here, right? We have a running flat. We got 1, 2, 3. And it worked perfect, right? We expected running flat to go from here last week. It came, it consolidated a little. We thought this consolidation will drop lower. Turned out it's still a running flat. So it's better for us because now you can get a trade from here to go. So let's see, don't miss it. Good morning, traders. My name is Anil Mangal. If you don't know, I hope you enjoy what we do. For the YouTube viewers, if you like what I do, it's called Wave Analysis, something I created. Please share the link, share it. There are a lot of traders. I happened to speak to somebody over the weekend who found my videos accidentally and wanted to join the group. So he was asking me about how to join and then figure out the guy is living in Dubai. Like, he is in Dubai, not very far from me. And I am here for the last 6 years. And he didn't know that these videos exist on the internet. And he's a trader for like, I think he said like 2 or 3 years now. He's not doing very well in the trading, and he was just surfing the internet, searching for more information and accidentally stumbled on. I can't remember which one of the video. I think one of the old videos he stumbled on, I think was one with stop hunting. I have that stop hunting video that I made, I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so. And he stumbled on that one, and he was like, okay, what is stop hunting? And he watched it and he said, oh, well, that doesn't exist. This is strange, because he heard of stop hunting, and then he watched my video and he's like, this guy's saying this thing doesn't exist. It's not real. And then he went and he looked at some more videos and he got my information, and he sent me a Skype message and we spoke. And he was curious, like, I'm not far from you. How don't I know that you exist? Like, literally, physically, I'm not even far from you. How didn't I find you? And, how it didn't pop on my radar earlier. So it all depends on you guys to help share it. If you know traders, if you know a group of traders, just give it to them to look. You're not selling it to them. You're not telling them they have to like it. You're just saying, hey, here's another method of analyzing the chart that you might like, that might help you change your views on what you're doing and how you're doing, right? Because the hype, and especially in cryptos, the hype is strong. Every time crypto go up, there's a huge hype to convince you that now is the time to buy. And worse yet, there are new instruments around crypto that are being created. Because if you can't sell the crypto, then what you do? You create instruments. Everybody remember the housing bubble? Because houses were selling like crazy, but there wasn't enough money to take away from the market by just selling houses. But if you create derivatives, then you create some other instrument around that and then sell that to bigger banks and to a whole lot of other people, you take away more money from the market. You get more uninformed. I wouldn't say like people who are ignorant, but That would be the correct word, because they don't know about the market, right? They're not blatantly ignorant about a lot of things, but they were ignorant of how market cycles work, and they bought into it. And then it all collapsed. If you're a crypto trader and it's at the top, think again. The last time I warned about it, warning you again, it's coming to the top. The tops are broken. Be careful. A drop will likely come. A very deep correction or a very big drop back to the bottom. So it's up to you. That said, let's go. So they're sell setups. I want to show you those very fast. I'm going to go through each one in details now. Let's start. By the way, don't forget to leave a like. If you want more videos, make sure you subscribe. And you can join us. If you want to join us, you can join these live sessions we do, which is about 3 to 5 daily. I'm personally in 3 of them every day. This is the first one for me. The guys were here before me. So when I said that the guys, I mean my trading group, the entire people in our group of traders, they come anytime into the trading room. So you will have access to anything like about 7 sessions a day if you trade all day. You can even create your own sessions and trade here. Just invite other traders to join you. It's one of the only trading room. It's one of the only trading rooms that exists that does something like that. It's run by the entire group. Any trader can come and start the trading room, invite other traders to join him, discuss, analyze, and take trades. You don't need me to be there for that. I'm just the guide to the group. Now, a lot of trading group, if the person who owns the group and running it is not there, you are going to wait for him to come for an hour and give you a 1-hour session and close the room. Right? Because they either don't have anyone else in the group who's capable of doing that, or they're too afraid to allow other people to do it. The power of knowledge is you don't have fear in you. Knowledge is knowledge. I share the knowledge and I encourage my traders to share. I encourage them to come here and do that, share with each other and trade, because I can't be here forever. Not time-wise, not any other way, right? And there are times when I'm sick for 3 months, the trading room still runs. And that is the purpose. It's set up like that so that you have lifetime access for free, so you can stay here and you can help each other. And it's amazing what they do. You may want to join them. Let's go. Dollar index. So dollar index kind of reversed from here, make a sharp reversal impulse, and we're going up. Now, we don't know that this is going to be. 2 things is going to happen here. We're going to track this first up move and see how sharp it is. The sharper it is, right? The sharper it gets, like see this one and see this one and see that one. The sharper it gets, the more we're going to get a bigger impulse to come to break the top. And when we break the top, we can either go make some consolidations and keep going up, or we can actually pull back. Right? We're still in the middle of nowhere. Literally, we're in the middle of nowhere. Now, this is going to be a short lesson for those of you who are not wave analysis trader. We don't have a pattern here. If you're looking at a daily, there is no pattern. All you have is a series of moves. You have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, and now you have 5. 5 single moves. None of those are patterns. So to create a pattern, we have to have at least 1, 2, 3. If this go break the top, we have our first pattern. If this goes there, just consolidate. If it just consolidates in this range, drop, consolidate, drop, consolidate, drop, consolidate, drop, and break this low, we can assume that we have our first pattern here then. And I said assume because this is relatively sharp, which means it can come back here and still drop again. That will create this pattern. Then we go up for this one. And if we break this low, we absolutely know we're going down. That's like 99.999%. If for whatever reason this goes up and then come back here, we're making a flat in here, we're going to go back up. And at this point, it depends how much you come into this. Either we're going to drop or either we could continue to go up. Now, if we do go higher into this, then we're going to come back to this point and then go. So make your guess how long we can stay here. And as of now, we don't know which direction this is going to go. Because like I showed you, the possibilities here are numerous. We're in the middle of nowhere. We don't have confirmation of a clear direction. Now, in the very big picture, it should go down. Right? In the very big picture, structures like these tend to break down. That was our forecast. You should go back and watch it when we were at the top here, when this was going up. that is going to break this top, come back, break the low, and then go back, break this top, and then drop. So that could still happen. But because we're consolidating here, we have to allow this to finish and then tell us, are we getting this drop? Or is it somehow going to consolidate and stay in this range? Which means stay in that range. That is still possible, right? It's not impossible. Normally, after 3 impulses, you normally drop. So I'm not expecting it to stay in that range. I'm expecting it to consolidate in the lower part and drop. The trade for the day is a buy. That is to give you a short lesson on what wave analysis is, how you analyze the chart and how you decide on which trade you're going. So we're looking for a buy setup here. A very quick update for those of, well, not update, I should say, last short extra lesson for those of you who are not wave analysis trader. Should this work its way down to the bottom here, don't buy it. If it comes anywhere to this range, we're no longer buying it. Not only are we not buying it, we will be looking for a sell setup when it comes back to the top here. So when I tell you it's a buy here now, that is valid for probably the next hour or two. In 2 hours, if anything should happen here and this would drop to the bottom here, I'm not going to sell it. There's no sell setup here. I would wait for it to go back up and then we'd absolutely sell that. Maybe we'll even buy it back to the top. And then we'd absolutely sell it. So then the view I'm giving you now about a buy setup could change. And that is why we do so many live sessions here, updates all the time. Anyone who tells you they know for sure it's going to go up, but it's only going to go up, has no idea how the market moves. Or it's going to go down and it's only going to go down, has no idea how the market moves. That could change. We look for precise patterns that tells us the direction it's going to go. Short term, medium term, long term. Silver. Okay, so we took the silver sell. There was no flag actually. Silver dropped and tagged you. I think there was no 5 minutes flag. Nope, there wasn't. Right, so we were trading the 5 minutes, selling on a lot of these on Fridays. This one would have tagged you here. I mean, that's easy to close. Take some, you probably got a few pips out of it. It's consolidating, but it came back pretty deep into this. And now we're consolidating in this range. This looks like it's going to go down a little more, and I'm not sure it's a drop. We can be because of this big one. And this is inside of that. So there's a good chance it might just tip here, go back up for this one. And if by the time it gets to the top there, you know, we could probably just come back here and go. So this consolidation, there's a 5 minute sell setup here that I'll probably ignore. If it becomes a 1 hour trade, you might want to consider it, but you'll have to be quick at getting out of it. You'll have to be really quick at getting out of that should it not drop really far. If this is the top of this consolidation and this is just a deep one into that, then we could continue to go. But all of this could be a bigger correction for one more up because it's not dropping the way we expect it to drop, right? Now, silver is at the top of a structure. We came pretty high. We were expecting this to be 1, 2, 3. Turned out it has another correction here. It made a new high, and we are pretty much way at the top of this already. So there's a very, very good chance that this thing turned out to be a huge consolidation at this piece here. This whole piece, not come back to the low, but stays in the range here, right? If it keeps going up there, because even if you pull back, you don't have to pull back to break the low, right? It could just, we're looking at this as one piece up, so we could repeat this one down, which means at some point it could just do this, come back here, do this, and all of that becomes a really huge flat for one more up. So there's no guarantee that this is good. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, sorry. And all of that is in this one. With a bigger correction here, we're likely going to come back down. So we could be stuck in this range here for a very, very long time. Let's see. Again, there is no sense of direction where this thing is going. You take the 1 hour trades, the 15-minute trades, get in, get out, and wait for the next setup. So on the 15-minute, there's probably a sell setup. Should this go higher back to the top there, we can still sell it. This sharp move will probably come back. I don't think it ended with this. There could be a chance that it ended with this, but then this one would have gone. It wouldn't come back to this point, right? If we look at that as a 1, 2, 3, and this was going to go up, it would make a new high. So we're just probably making a bigger flat here. Gold, it actually dropped. It never broke the low. It never broke the impulse. If you were looking for a flag here, you didn't get a trade, it made a new high. So we have a 15 minutes running flat. We have a 15 minutes running flat here. Here's the problem with this. If that was a running flat on the 15, this one should have broken the top. So when it's not breaking the top, what you're saying is that that is not as small flat as you think it is. It's making a bigger correction in all. All of these would be part of the move, but on a much bigger one. So I think we'll be stuck here for a while. Do I think it's dropping? I don't think so. There's no sign of this. There is some divergence, but there's no sign it's dropping. Then we broke the daily top. There's a question somebody asked in the group, like why this didn't break the low. What's the pattern? Well, we're expecting a running flat. That has not changed. Can it go higher? Yeah, it can go all the way to the top here. And that would not change that it's a running flat. All you would do is you do it like this. Now, if you haven't seen a running flat like that, you haven't studied the charts as yet. I think we've all seen. Now, here's another option of a running flat. Can we repeat this here? Can this thing just come back and do this and, repeat that exact same big correction, make another move up and still pull back like this? Would that still be a running flat? So I think you've seen one of that as well, right? So the options of how this could develop, numerous. Take one trade at a time. As of now, we don't have any trade in it. There is not a buy or a sell setup. There's a very short 15-minute consolidation here that I don't think is worth selling because we are not coming from the top and we haven't broke any of the lows. So we're not expecting this to break the low. So the best one is to avoid selling this. Go with the silver. You have a better structure. Go with euro, go with CAD. You have better structures in those. Even if this is going to drop. Structurally, we don't know that. Euro, there's a perfect sell. Whether it go or whether it doesn't go doesn't matter. There's a perfect sell setup. Put an entry under the low. For my traders, you can use the last impulse. Especially, this didn't break the top, so don't do that. If you want to use the last impulse, you have to go here. Because when they don't break the top, it can become a bigger flat, right? So when it's coming from the top, that's a drop. But if it's coming from here and they kind of pull back to that top, do this, they could end up doing this, go back up there and then come. So you be careful. If it's coming down like this, don't let it tag you. You want it to drop. So it's coming slow, close the trade. If it drops, take the trade. So you sell setup. Pung. I think Pung will be a sell setup. It's kind of making a bigger flat here. We do have structure for Pung to go down. Right? It could go down from here. There's no point going to the top there, but this one is huge. So we think it could get there, but it could drop from here. Or this would just be a consolidation and we go again. Either way, we can trade it. So what's the most immediate trade? The most immediate trade is actually upside. If we look at it this way, this needs to go up, right? We need to get this move up. So this kind of need to go up there and then we get a drop. And the deeper it comes back to this, the more we'll be thinking correction downwards. But we can still sell it. The range is huge. I think it's more than 60 pips. You can pull out the trade from it every time. This is about 56 pips. So you can pull out the trade from the top every time. I don't think this sell here is a good idea, even if it's some kind of a contracting flat for downside. So we wait. But should it break this top, we start looking for the sell, which means they can all go up some more, right? Aussie already broke. This was the sell here. You would have taken the sell from here on Friday, but you would have closed it in here. This would have been the sell this morning if anybody was trading. I think you could have taken this sell in the Asian session. It's pulling back. So by rule, you shouldn't be in that trade anymore. No, yeah. Well, you could still be in it. It's only 2 hours. If you're still in it, watch it carefully. If not, close the trade, put an entry under the low. You know the rules. Right, so close the trade, but keep it away from this about 1 spread or more, 1.5 spread or so. You don't want to tag it. I think they're making a consolidation here. So if this is the first pullback in that consolidation, there's a good chance they'll probably do this, go back up, make a small flat, and then drop. Right, if we get a small flat, they're perfect for a sell. It's still a sell setup. New Zealand. I think this should go back up. First, you can leave this entry here. If they're making a small one, they'll probably come here, go back up, make a small one here and drop. But I think the chances are this is going to go back up first. We will look at this as a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then drop. So we notice Pong has an upside somewhere. Aussie probably, New Zealand most likely. Gold and silver looks definitely a little more up. So the sells, even if you get them on the perfect ones like the CAD or the euro, if they should break out before they up move, they can still go, they can still move up. Euro can still move up, but not big moves, but very small moves. Euro can still do this, right? And then drop. So should it tag you and reverse, start managing your trade to get out for break even. Because they're showing us, on some of the periods, they're showing us that an up move is there. Right? New Zealand is showing us that there is a possibility to come here and then drop. CAD. So CAD, we're going to go for the buy. You can either put it above the top. I think we keep it above this top because this is a small one. That's internal to this. So this could still be a running flat here. This one. 1, 2, 3, and still drop. So you don't want it to tag you. This was the buy on Friday. Actually, the entry was here, but you could have put it here. That would have been your first. I think this was a 5-minute flag here. Put an entry above the top. Don't go too close because this could go here and drop somewhere. This one is really sharp. So I think it's going to work with this. If it comes lower and it breaks this low, then we move the entry down lower. Swiss. Okay, this is not going anywhere. This didn't tag you. Take it out. There was a flag here. If you bought the flag, you'd probably close it. This should go up. By all means, it should go up because this is the pattern we forecast. When it was making this flat, it's going to go there, come here, and then go back up. But I don't see a clear buy setup. We have this sharp move here, and this is not making sense. Okay, let's assume for a second they're just going up really slow, and this is some kind of a flat. Wait for this to come back here. Make another flat, and then go with this. But if you get this, if there's a chance, or you could go there, come back here, and then just be aware of a possible running flat here. But it's tradable. Just wait for the setup. They're in the setup to trade there. Yen. Okay, so we didn't break the low, which means you're expecting more downside. Just a bigger correction. Let it come back to this stop, and then look for the sell setup. Right? Yen is going down quite a lot. So this big flat at the top there turned out to be just a huge flat for downside. We're not going to get this most likely no longer because we're coming down a lot. This is more a sell setup. You can put the entry under the low, but that's not the trade you want. Right? Like that was a nice trade. There was another trade here to take, and then this comes for the top here, and then we look for the sell from the top going down. You don't want to take it at the bottom there. You want to take it from top going down. Now, if this thing is going to drop to where we think it should drop, the first place you want it to drop to is here. You're looking for this move down. That's the first thing you're looking for. Right? Second thing you're looking for, if that move is the impulse, and this is just a deep correction, where it is as it stands, the impulse and deep correction. But what I mean is if it's a deep correction, not for a flat for upside, but for total downside, then we're going to come and retest this low. Because we know this is the deep correction. Now, we don't know whether the deep correction is finished. If it should go back up, it will just break the top and then drop here. Because we're going to get this, whether we get it now or whether this makes another flat, go back up and then come. And we have seen both of those options. It's a running flat, so it's going to come back because you have too much corrections in here for that not to be a running flat, even if it goes back and break the top. And we've seen this and we know how this works. So if this is the one that dropped to the bottom here, then yes, perfect. We just keep selling and then we buy back. So wait for it. Now the question is, if we think euro is dropping and CAD is going up, why would yen drop? Again, yen is its own currency. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be a dollar movement. I think where traders confuse this is they tend to look at dollar movements and said, well, okay, yen and CAD moves in the same direction. Because they think that it's only the dollar that moves everything. The yen has its own, it's its own economy, it's its own currency. It can move how it wants. It can get weaker than the dollar. It can get stronger than the dollar. Not than the dollar. It can get stronger to the dollar. It can get weaker to the dollar. It just moves on its own. It has nothing to do with the other currencies, right? So if it's going to drop, it might most likely be just a yen movement, which means you're going to look at all the yen pairs. Euro yen. Okay, so we broke the low. Good job. So we expected to come there. And I mean, this was the forecast. We wanted this, go back up, come down. And we got that. So, or do we have more downside? Let's look at it in a 15. We don't necessarily have to get more downside. This one broke the low here. See, this was a good its own correction. Made a small one, drop break. This is a buy setup forming there, actually. As of now, it's a buy setup, right? Because we broke the low. All we need to do was break this low and break that low, right? So this sell would have come here, somewhere in that flag, if you'd seen that, right? So you close that trade and take this off. This is a buy setup. Now, should it come lower, we would look for another flat like this and sell, right? Should this come much lower like this, let it go back up and sell it. But if you're making a flat drop, make a flat drop. I think we know what that means. So do we expect more upside or do we expect it to drop? Well, like I said, both of those are possible. We're breaking out of this structure, so we can come all the way to the bottom. Should it make another flat, we'll sell. But if it goes back up, we can retest the top and then drop, right? This could be a flat. We have a flat here, 1, 2, 3. But this big flat could be for total downside, or it could be they go retest the top and then come because of the depth of the pullback here. Now, we will probably know that today. If this is going to drop much more, we'll get a little flag here, and then we'll watch it drop. We'll sell the trade, right? So you need to make sure you get a flag. As of now, that's a 15 minutes buy setup that can change in the next hour. Go for the buy. If it's going to retest the top, remember they're both yen and euro movement. Should it work its way down, you don't have to worry. You'll have to wait for like 3-4 hours. And in the London or the New York session, we will sell it. So this would have to work its way down here, go back up to the top, give us this flat. See? And only then we'll sell. If you think this is not possible, then think how this was possible. Because we made that forecast. And we made it way before it happened. Right? Because we knew that we've seen these patterns before. So let this happen and then look for the sell. Don't try to sell this coming down here. Okay, so that is for the majors, and you got a bonus on the euro yen. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to look at all the some of these and some of the cryptos. That is for the YouTube viewers. So here's the thing. If you really like this analysis, you think it can help you trade, and you would like to join us, send me a Skype message. The Skype is at the bottom of the video in the description, at the very top of the description. There's a link, there's a Skype link. You can click on it. If you have Skype, you can just enter Mangal, M-A-N-G-A-L 457. Let me type that for you because traders don't get it. Type M-A-N-G-A-L 457. Send me a Skype message. If you don't have Skype, the link is there. You click on it, it will download Skype in 2 seconds, and then you'll be able to send it. Well, let's say 2 minutes if your computer is slow. And then you can send me a message. I'll give you all the details of how you can join. You can join the live sessions that we do on a daily basis, or you can join the entire group and have lifetime access, which means you get access to everything, including the training. Okay, with that said, let's go. Natural gas. Yep, natural gas, that was a good sell again because of the running flats. We were looking for this move down. We got it. Bring it back here. Why does it look strange? I think this was a little longer. This chart looks different. Anyway, and then we assume that it's going to go back up. So we're looking for buy setups. I think that worked well. Why is my chart looking different? This chart is looking like totally different. So the first buy on that one was here, I think, which turned out to be break even. If this was the news, you want to close that trade because we've got this sharp pullback. Right? So this is really sharp, and that goes. So I wouldn't be surprised if this just goes a little, come back here, make a running flat, and then we go with this. Or wait for a better setup. Right? So running flat, and if we get a running flat there, that would be the perfect buy setup. Right? So it's still upside. It's still, if you're going to buy this little flag here, just manage it. For our traders, if you're buying that little flag, know how to manage it, right? So that's a buy. US oil. Okay, it did go up, but it didn't go to the top. It did come down back and it dropped lower. So let's see if we have, I think we can use it the way we want. 1, 2, 3 expanding flat, and you got a flat in here. So we're going to put it like this. All right, that's the flat we're looking for. When we did this forecast for that to go back and come, we're looking at this. Now that it's coming from here, we would have to actually put it like this. This is what it should look like, right? So there's a good chance that this could go lower. If you go, this is the one we're looking for. So this could go lower, right? So this could go a little more lower here. And then from here, we're going to expect that to go back up at least once. Because the way we're looking at it is this was the flat, right? This had 1, 2, 3. make a expanding flat there, and then you got 1, 2, 3. Complete that flat. So this came down, this comes down, we'll look for a buy setup. Now you could still get a sell setup here. And that shouldn't be huge downside, but it might be worth taking it. In very rare cases, and we saw that just now on a few charts where the flat at the top here is huge, but we didn't break the top, right? And this just keeps dropping. So if you take this sell here, you're taking it with caution, that work towards break even should it not go. Because a lot of consolidation, we were expecting this to drop like that. Eventually, it will still drop, even if you go back up to the top there. Because the bigger structure is downside, right? 1, 2, 3, and then downside. But it's still possible that this could go one more up, right? I think that's possible. Keep your eyes here. If you get a sell setup, take it with a lot of caution. I mean, manage it very carefully. If it becomes a sell here, but there's no buy at the moment, right? There's no buy setup there at the moment. It's making a small flag here. So it has to take off, make a flag here, and then we'll buy it. US 30, we're repeating. So the sell setup, if any one of you got it from the top, great. Repeating the same move. I think we can make an assumption that we should get an equal amount of drop, something like this. So you can bring this up to here. Bring this up to the last impulse, because now it can break. I think now we have everything for it to break. Let's see. We got an up move, a correction, an up move, a correction, an up move. Yeah, this could drop to the bottom. It could make another one and go back and then come. But it could drop as well. So if you get a flag here, or if it breaks through the low, this is the sell. Now, I don't know how far this is going to go, but we'll make an assumption that there's only one more impulse down and then upside. If this is starting to look like a consolidation, you take the trade, because that could change if it drops really far, right? This would be a slow start and drop. Can it be a leading diagonal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then make a consolidation here and then drop. Right? Or something like this, and then drop. That is possible too. So this trade might be worth taking. I think the worst case you can get at first break even. It could also be a correction for upside one more. But the first move is to the downside. So we take the drop and then we'll see what happens there. S&P 500. Yeah, this one is going good. That was the buy. Close that. That did go reverse. The sell is starting to happen here. Let's see if we get a trade setup. No, we want one sharp pullback and then take up this. This was a buy here too. We want one sharp pullback. So you want this to come here and do this. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this becomes an excellent sell setup. So if we get that, this sell setup would be perfect. Wait for this up move and then go for the sell. That'd be a really good one, because this, I think we don't have anything we're looking for. This completes all the pattern and it could drop. Even this one, I think we could either put it with this, or we could go back to this piece here, or with this one even, right? So there's a lot of single moves. I think this one could go easily for an expanding flat here. And it wouldn't be a problem putting these two, because you do have a correction here. So look for that drop. You wanted to drop through this structure as well. I wanted to totally drop through the structure. That will confirm it. But I think this flat is perfect, because you got a correction here and a correction there. Right? We got it here. This was the one we're looking for. So this could totally drop. Wait for that setup. Go for the trade. NASDAQ. Similar here. This could drop quite a lot. So this was the buy. Take it off. Two buys, that one was break even, one was profit. So I think you should have closed that. We discussed that many times. This is the buy. We need a sell setup here. We don't have it. On the 15, let's see. Yep, you need that pullback too. So you need it to come back like this, and then we get, or make a perfect sell setup flag. Right? Not going down, not just going down, but make a perfect flag. So let it come down a little more, go back to the top there, and then if this is to drop and make a perfect flag here, sell it. One drop, another one, sell it, because you could get this, but maybe wait on at the bottom. But only flags can be sold. If not, don't try to sell this dropping, because then you'll get yourself in trouble. And let's see where that goes. Okay, this is coming down. So the forecast was, somebody had asked me to put this on. on YouTube, and I said, okay, I'll do it. So the forecast was this was going to go break the top and then reverse. Right, and then we get a big move down. So take that out. Okay, you got this flat. This was a sell, by the way, that dropped and went back up. Now you're getting a flat here. That's a perfect sell setup. Put it from there. Again, you're waiting for this to pull back. You need that pullback, let it come a little lower. I think this one is much easier because now you got this, you get this, and you could get this easy here. You'll probably go a little lower and then do this and then get the drop. This is a really good one. Structurally, this is huge. Structurally, you're looking for a move down like this, more upside, and then more like this. But the reason the person sent it is not because of those trades, it's because of this trade coming. Right? Should this drop and break the low here, that should be a big trade. And I think there's a very high probability of that happening. So let's see. Go back to the top. Your first drop you're looking for would be this one. I think there's a chance it goes back. There's a lot of pieces here. We might have to relook at it, of how it's structured. And this is sharp, so this would have to be part of an impulse. So if you go 1, 2, 3, then we'll need to make a 1, 2, 3 here, go back to the top, and then probably drop. And that will only cover this piece because we don't have anything for that either. So there'll be a big running flat here eventually. If it moves the way we expect it to move, then we'll still have to get this down. Go back, retest the top, and then the big drop starts. Tesla. Go, okay, we're breaking the low. Somewhere here, you start looking for one more up. Right, somewhere there, one more up, and then one more down before we get the reversal point. So this consolidation is going to go on for a while. Can it go a little lower? Yeah, probably. But I don't think we're dropping as such. I think we're just going down a little low. All right, we're still in this up move here, and we're not trying to. This thing is just making a big flat within this range. All right, this was the 1, 2, 3 up. This is a correction, and then we'll probably get another 1, 2, 3 up here, and then we'll see if they break the top or if they come back down. Okay, this is still stock here. So let's see which piece we're missing. We got this one. You got a 1, 2, 3. We were expecting 1, 2, 3, and we should get a sharp one now. We didn't. We get a correction here, and we didn't break the top. So that means we're still in that correction. Right? If we didn't break the top of it, it means all of this is still a correction. Right? We're still in a huge correction here, which is this move I was expecting. Expected to come back to the bottom here. We'll relook at the structures internally, but expect that to come. So instead of a sharp move, this turns to be a flat. And instead of this going all the way, it will go back to the top, but it's going to be equal to this. Something like that. Back to the top, right? Not necessarily big move. So it will probably come here, go there. And then we still have to, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still have to get this one, which would be, yes, this move now. Right? We still have to go back up for this to complete that one, and then come down back for the big one. So this is going to be a flat of its own, a correction, a flat of its own, a correction, a flat of its own, another impulse up, and then come here. We could have more pieces. There's still 2 pieces here. So it could stay here for a very, very long time. Because if this becomes the biggest flat, this becomes the core. Right? If that's become the core, then we have 1, 2, 3. We still have this one. Right? We still have a 1 up, probably a 1, 2, 3 here. Go back up again, come down, go back up, then come for this one. And go back up and then drop. So there could be more pieces in here. Tradable? Of course. Let's go back into it. 1 hour. Look for a buy setup. Ignore this sell now because we didn't break that top. So I'll totally ignore the sell. Let it come and break the low and then look for a buy back to the top. It could be more complicated than that. I have a very strong feeling this thing is much more complicated than that. We'll figure that out. Because we might be looking at this one a little wrong, especially now inside of this forming. Because we could look at it much, much more complicated. So let's wait and see. Next. Okay, that's a good reversal. The buy was good. Take it off. It didn't break the top. I think we were looking for a break of that top, which it didn't happen. Okay, this was a good sell. under 15. So 115 to their 215 minutes flag that if you didn't take them, now what you want is you want to wait for the 1 hour flag. So you want, literally you want this to come back here, and then you want to see this. For a continuation. Remember, this is I think an all-time high. Did we break? Yeah, I think that's the all-time high. We're pretty much at a very, very high spot. Those were the buys going up. So we're going to look at now. I'll take them up just now. We start looking for sells to come back. Now, two ways we can look at it. We either come back like this and continue to go. That's one option. We may or may not look at it as a running flat, or we drop. Right there, this is the top. So is it the deep correction, a small correction, a total drop? We'll see. Wait on the 1 hour. Wait for a flag go. The 15 minutes flags are over. You had one and you had this one as the second one. Let it make a bigger one than these two, then go for the sell. But it's a sell setup. Okay. Transport, it seems to be turning. This was the buy, take it off. It did make a top and it's coming down. So if you get a flag here, go for the trade. Go for the sell. Wait for a flag here. You need a small 15 minutes flag and then you can go for the sell. This could be coming down big time. If it goes higher, you don't just leave it alone. Nifty. One more up. It's still there. It's still valid. They'll probably break it up and then come back. Because we do have this sharp move here. Bitcoin. Okay, so we made this running flat. It broke the top. You made a smaller running flat, and we're consolidating. That will probably break the top too. See, we made this one, and then you're making this. This could probably be a flat that will probably go up more. Come here and then go back up. Right now, it's still upside. It's not dropping as yet. Right? I want to see a top. For it to start drop, I want to see a move drop like this and consolidate to the bottom. But we're at the daily and the weekly top. Right? So the last time they broke this top, it dropped. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to drop today or right now. It can work its way up some more. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes and goes and goes, but then come for the drop. And there's a high probability that if this has nothing to do with this piece in the correction here, right, if it's not some kind of an expanding flat, then the chances are, and I don't think it's an expanding flat, the chances are this one is part of a bigger correction that could come back here. And this would be part of something in here for this move up before it goes back up. Right? Now, this is a simple flat. It never is simple, which means there are more pieces to it on the way down. Right? Could this be the impulse starting to go up everybody is waiting for? Well, possible. But every time you get there, you should trade with a lot of caution. Because I think we also have a lot of divergence on the daily. Let's see. No, daily, no divergence. Yeah, we do. We broke the top, we have divergence. Sorry. I think we still have daily divergence as of now. Yeah, there is. I want to see in this if we have 4-hour divergence anywhere. Internal, we're getting internal 4-hour divergence, and that means you're getting 1-hour divergence. Right? So you kind of start getting some divergence here, which means either a much deeper correction coming or it could be a reversal. Be aware when you start to see it getting so high. You don't want to be the last person to exit. The last person to exit is the one stuck with it. ETH. I think this is more of a bigger correction here. There was a very small one here, just making a bigger correction. Still looks upside. That still looks upside. XRP. This one doesn't look much upside because all this correction is inside this flat. So this here looks, it's not that running flat. Now it's this one. And we're making something here. So this still looks like it can go. But it might only break this top. I don't think it's a big take off. You probably want to give it a try because the trade we're looking for is this. So this could happen and then come back. There is a big spike here that could happen. So you may want to consider buying this. And there's a buy setup. Just spike, break the top and come back. ADA. Also a possible spike here on this one. but not as yet. This came down here. It's making a more complex one. We expected this to go down. It went down. It's making another one. That means you're making a complex flat. Here's the thing. All of that is in this. Take this off. All of this is in this sharp move down. So because it's consolidating inside the move, sorry guys, it could probably just do this and come back here and then go. If it works its way down more, that would be much better for you. Then the buy would be easy. I'll be very cautious of buying this because it's going to pull back. BNB. So the top consolidating, so it probably will still go. Yeah, they're consolidating at the top there. That'll still go. One more upside. And where do we think this one is going to go? Well, we're still in this structure, right? So be careful from here. There's one more up maybe. There's just about one more up here and then start looking for that drop. This move down. Because as long as we're in this and this is all the consolidation, it's going to likely come back. That's a 95% chance of this thing coming back rather than breaking the top. So there is a buy setup. Just be very cautious. It's not, this could be the last impulse to the upside. Dash. All of them have this flatness here. See, this sharp move, we don't have anything for it. So eventually, even if it breaks that top there, it has to come back here before it goes. And if it does that, then we're in one huge flat pattern here. See, really, really flat, not impulsive. Not by any stretch of the imagination is that thing impulsive. So we might even retest this low before you go. If this is doing what I think it's doing, if we look at it the way we're looking at this making a running flat here, then the chances are it will come back here and drop. What if this piece is an expanding flat somewhere in here? What if somewhere in here we look at all of this as a possible expanding flat? Which makes sense. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If that's an expanding flat in there, we're not looking at that. But what if it is? If that's an expanding flat, then this is the top. It can just break the top and drop straight through the bottom before it goes back up. So the buy in here, you'll take it with a lot of caution. There is probably one more move up. No doubt to that, yeah. You're getting a setup for it as well. You can make an argument that if you break that top, you're going to break this top and go a little more, but then it's downside. Up. This is kind of going up too, but really slow. And the pullbacks are strong and deep, so you got to be careful. This has more upside. I don't think this doesn't really necessarily has to pull back, so the buy here might be a better choice. Yeah, this is in this one, so all these consolidation are still going to pull back. There's a buy setup here. Probably to do this and then come back. So also upside. This is a correction of its own, so I wouldn't really worry very much about that. This is more like a trend going up. But there's this deep pullback. We don't have anything for this. See? So at some point, this would make it high and then pull back strong for running flat. Link. Okay, this went. The move was from here to break this top. And then from there, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually come down, right? So we're looking at this. It can go more. Yeah, they can go more basically. You make a move as much as this before it comes back. So let's go to the 1 hour and see. Actually, it's coming back pretty strong. So if you get a flag here for a sell, it might be worth going for it. If it makes a flag here for sell, go for it. For a buy, it has to come back and consolidate. That will take a long time. I'll go. More upside. I think one more pullback and then it's ready to go. Let this pull back one more. Go with a running flat. Let this pull back. I'll put an entry here. And then put the entry here. Or try to get it from here to go. Gala. This is kind of, okay, this one drops. So it's either a flat for upside or if we make another flag sell. Either this should come back here and then go back up there and then look like it's going to drop, sell it. Because you got a flat, but sometimes that next one drops. Now, are we expecting a drop from here? Let's see. No, not really. This could totally go up. Right? It could go up a lot more too, because this is the lowest point and we're now starting that up move. I think this was the lowest point. Can it come back down and then go? There's a possibility for that, but right now it looks more upside. So go back to the 1 hour, buy everything you can buy. If it gives you we can put an intro to here for the buy, actually. And should this consolidate the drop and you want to sell it, that might be an option. So it all depends on how it comes here and it goes back there. That's a sell setup. One more drop and then up. Put the entry order here after that, or try to get it from the bottom, whichever comes. So, okay, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope the YouTube viewers find it interesting and it's helping you in your trading. If it does, send me a message. Thank you very much and have a good trading week ahead of you.